OM-3 versus other small cameras. I want to address OM-3 and compare it to other systems and to other options from the Micro Four Thirds system also, and to see if the camera deserves $2,000.
What?
So let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. Tudor Matescu here. If you are in content like this, please subscribe now to my channel, because in this video I will address OM-3 versus the other options, because I am seeing users on the forums talking, with this money you can buy a Nikon ZF, with this money you can buy a Sony camera, you have lots of Sony lenses, you have lots of Fujifilm lenses, or you can buy other Olympus camera. So how is staying OM-3 here? So let's take it simple. If I would have the budget, I would buy instantly OM-3. Don't get me wrong, I am liking it a lot. I would buy it instantly. It's nice, it's metal build, I know what Olympus can do, I know Olympus lenses, I know the Micro Four Thirds sensor. It's a great camera, but the price is outrageous, thinking, for me at least, that you have a flip screen and you don't have such a good EVF. So the flip screen and the EVF are making me think to other small cameras. So the first budget camera that I do recommend, and you'll get similar image quality but not similar performance regarding AF, it is the Olympus OM-10 Mark IV. This camera, it's really amazing. The IBIS, top-notch IBIS, the dynamic range by night, if you know how to shoot it, stellar dynamic range, stellar simulations, retro looking design, light, great with bigger Olympus lenses like 12 to 45, like 20mm, f1.4, and with other lenses from the Micro Four Thirds system. In the past years, I've used more my Olympus camera than my GX-9 camera. And why is this? Because it is lighter. It is lighter. It is simple for me to take it, and yes, it is lighter. OM-3 is not so light. And it matters, 100 grams, it matters. So, this is my first recommendation, Olympus OM-10 Mark IV. Yes, you don't have such good AF and you don't have the computational photography tricks, but if you aren't into those, you have all the other functions that you could want. But let's say you want to spend a little more and you are looking also at a Micro Four Thirds camera. Now comes OM-5. Should you get OM-5 if you want to save some money and put those money in the lenses? Of course, you should buy OM-5. OM-5, it is as good as OM-3. It doesn't have sense to nitpick here. Just the only big difference that you may not like is that the camera isn't made from metal. For me, it matters. But other than that, again, metal or not metal, I've preferred this against my GX-9. Should you buy GX-9? I don't know if you can find GX-9 brand new now. But if you can find it brand new, yes, GX-9, it is the best camera from my point of view for street photography. Buy it on the used market, I would not buy it from the used market. But if you can find it brand new at a good price, buy it. GX-9, it is the best choice from all these cameras that I've listed here. Why? Metal build, amazing AF, all the functions in the world, amazing touchscreen. The only problem that this camera has is that the EVF, it's not so good. But for a camera like this, I don't feel it's a problem. You have a very good screen and you can use the EVF in sunny days. And also you have an EVF that is flipping like this. So very important. More than that, you have flash. So look here, flash. It's a problem. OM-3 doesn't have flash, and a flash on a Micro Four Thirds camera, it's must needed. So very important. Now, the other camera that you could go, it is Leica D-Lux 8. I do feel that Leica D-Lux 8, it's one of the best choices nowadays with OM-3, because you have a Leica camera with the Leica colors, with the Leica magic sauce. And yes, the Leica magic sauce, it's there. I had Lumix LX100 Mark II, but you don't get the image quality that you get with Leica D-Lux 7 and 8. And the Leica D-Lux 8, it is very nice build. But let's say that no, you don't want Micro Four Thirds sensor, you are a professional photographer, you want great image quality, and you are thinking to go to the Fujifilm system or to Sony system because it's small. I will not talk about Nikon or other brands, because Sony and Fuji, we can bet on them that they are small cameras and you have some options. So let's address first the Fuji cameras. You have X-T30 Mark II, you have X106, you have XT50. So, lots of small cameras. But from my experience, and I've did a video, I think 2-3 years ago, that it's still relevant today. You don't have the lenses that you have on Olympus and Lumix. You don't have the lenses. Yes, you have many more lenses than 2-3 years ago, but I feel that the Micro Four Thirds system is still winning at the lenses. Yes, you'll get better image quality with big, expensive lenses, but you don't have the zooms, you don't have the primes, you'll have problems with the AF, and so on and so on and so on. But if you are into portraiture photography and want some 3D pop and some micro contrast and some Fujifilm colors, then yes, Fujifilm is Fujifilm, but I do feel that Olympus and Micro Four Thirds in general, they are still keeping their advantage against Fujifilm. And why I'm saying this? I can't shoot with this camera long exposure. It's very hard for me to get 1 second long exposure with a wide lens. We can't talk about a telelens. With 12-100, I was able to shoot long exposure by hand 1 second at 150 millimeters equivalent. So amazing. You can do some pictures with a Micro Four Thirds camera that you can't do with a Fujifilm camera. Also with this camera I am able to long expose at least 3 seconds. So you'll be more creative regarding general photography with a Micro Four Thirds camera. And you still have good lenses for portraiture there. The Pana Leica 25mm f1.4 and the 1.2 lenses from Olympus, yes, big, but if you want portraits you can use them, and the amazing 20mm f1.4 from Olympus. So you have some options there. You aren't crippled regarding the lenses for portraiture, and you also aren't crippled regarding the zooms. On Fujifilm, don't think about the zooms. Just forget about the zooms on Fujifilm from my point of view. And now let's go to the Sony system. Well, on Sony system, yes, you have some options, some very, very good options. The Sony A7C, now when looking in time, even if I criticize the system, and I'm still criticizing a little because I don't like the sound of the mechanical shutter, but other than that, small, compact, light camera, it has 500 grams as OM-3, so they have similar weight. But you have a grip here. You have lots of lenses, small and pancake-ish lenses for everyday photography. But when we are talking about the zooms, you will have problems. And you don't have computational photography. And you don't have the IBIS from Olympus, and so on, and so on, and so on. But other than that, you'll have very good image quality. So it really depends on what kind of photography you want to do. If you are into shallow depths of field, if you want micro contrast and use full frame, amazing magic lenses, you'll get that with Sony 7C. But you'll not get the other goodies. So from my point of view, you can skip Fujifilm and also Fujifilm XM5, from my point of view. Plastic camera, yes, cheap, but plastic. And again, the lenses, you don't have the lenses that you have on a Micro Four Thirds camera. And you can go to the Sony system. So if you can't find a camera in the Olympus OM system and you want better AF, better image quality with all kinds of lenses, then yes, you can go to the Sony system. Yes, on the Sony system, you have some options. So this is the advantage here. You have lots of prime lenses, and also there are some small zoom lenses from Tamron that will offer you very good image quality, like the Tamron 28 to 200 millimeters full frame lens. Yes, the lens doesn't have IBIS, but other than that, it's pretty on par with the Olympus 12-100. But again, 12-100 is 12-100 with that IBIS, with the image quality, with the micro contrast. It has some magic, that 12-100, but the Tamron zoom also, it is pretty good on the Sony system. The other camera, that it's a full frame camera, and you could think that it's okay as an alternative to OM-3, it is Lumix S9. Well, let's be serious. Lumix S9. Let's be serious. I didn't change my mind, and I will never change my mind regarding Lumix S9. Forget about that camera if you want a camera for photography, to enjoy it by day and by night, for fast moving subjects, for street photography, and so on and so on. So you don't want to go with a full frame camera that doesn't have a fast readout sensor, and you'll have lots of problems in night photography and in action photography, so forget about that camera. So in conclusion, we are able to see that OM-3 is not staying bad regarding what it's offering and the competitors. It is staying pretty well against the competition. Yes, it has a price tag, but I feel that the only true competition, it's still a Micro Four Thirds camera. So if you want an equivalent camera, a size, fast AF, similar image quality, similar rendering and good rendering, I think you still need to go to a Micro Four Thirds camera. The first camera that is coming to mind, it is Leica D-Lux 8. Leica D-Lux 8 is the camera to get if you don't want to complicate your life. The next camera, it is OM-5, and you can go even below, like Olympus OM-10 Mark IV and other Olympus cameras. But yes, OM-3 has the biggest advantage of computational photography, but you really must think very well how useful the computational photography it will be for you. Because that computational photography is not something that you can imply fast. You must make some settings, you must take your time, and so on. But you have that on the camera, and also you have a metal bill camera. So the only problem, for me at least, it remains that the camera doesn't have a tilt screen. For a small street photography camera, I do want a tilt screen. Yes, personally, I did a compromise with Sony A7C and Nikon ZF, and I'm very okay with the compromise, especially on Nikon ZF, but also on Sony A7C a little, but especially on Nikon ZF, because it's delivering me all what I want on the other departments. So I have a full frame sensor, reliable AF, great colors, extraordinary build, and the results are amazing. And the shutter, the mechanical shutter, it is very silent. And the camera, it's very inviting, it's not threatening at all. Sony A7C, I'm not liking it with the flip screen. We have on Sony A7C the problem that I'm addressing on OM-3. We have an EVF that it's crippled, it's not fun to use. So you must use the screen flip when you want to do photography, and also the mechanical shutter is not nice. So this is why I'm not liking this kind of implementation on small cameras that are making compromises regarding the EVF. Very important here. So this is the hill from my point of view with OM-3, the EVF and the flip screen. But if you are okay with this, then go with this. If not, go to the other cameras that don't have those compromises. Pay attention to these compromises, especially if you want to do street photography, because this is very important for street photography. Now, if you want to see why I like some more Micro Four Thirds system, please check my other videos regarding the Micro Four Thirds system. Thank you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.